LSU said what? Woo, hey, did you pronounce these names wrong in 2020? I bet you did at least one of them. And if you did another one, you're too stupid for words. Hey, all of that and more in Cody Stoots in hour 2. It's Barry on deck. Let go.
Live from the BiffNet Studios World Headquarters in Spring, Texas, it's Barry on Deck, hosted by former ESPN Houston radio host and stand-up comedian Barry Laminack, starring Oliver the Cat. Written by Barry Laminack, produced by Barry Laminack, directed by, you guessed it, Barry Laminack, featuring sports, entertainment, special guests, film sessions, and some drinking. Okay, a lot of drinking. Viewer discretion is advised. And now, here's your host, Barry Laminack.
What's up, you damn dirty deckheads? Welcome to Barry on Deck. I am your host, Barry Laminack. Thank you guys for being here. It is December the 10th, 2020. This is episode number 151 of the show, and I could not be more happy to be alive right now. I feel so good. Oh my God, I feel blessed to be here. I have so many topics to discuss, very little sports. We're going to do some headlines, we're going to make fun of LSU, and then we're going to get into the goodness. We're going to talk about some crazy words you probably mispronounced. And then in hour number 2, Cody Stoots is going to join me. So all of that and more on the show. Here's the little fancy thumbnail I made for it. Look at LSU. You guys are silly, LSU. Stop it. So we're going to get into all of that. And I've got some great updates for you for the streamathon that's happening this Saturday. We're going to do all that. I promise we're going to do all that. But before we get into that, I got to do the chat. It is mandatory we do the chat. Here is your number 1 today. My guy, Gregory Vega Jr. with the number 1 spot. Suck it, house. Suck at everybody, really. Gregory Vega Jr. just came in elbowing. Get out of the way, bitches. I'm number 1. So Gregory Vega Jr., congratulations. Number 1 in the chat today. Let's get to the chat. I saw her already. I'm not even going to scroll through the names yet. I got to say, welcome back, Deanna. Welcome back to the show. You missed your birthday show. We said happy birthday to you, but we still love you. Thank you for your donation to the streamathon for the auction. It's good to have you back, sweetie. I see Marvin Wingfield in the building. I see Matt Poche in the building. I see, what the hell happened over here? What's going on with the timer? That got weird for a minute. We got to start that over. That's unacceptable. There we go. G-Man, what's up, dog? Terrence J is here. Clarence Marshall, Jesus Perez, sup, Barry and Deckheads, as per usual. Keith Sager's in the building. Alan Denson is in the house. Uriel Villanueva, Jeff Bell. Look at Gregory going for the Triple Crown. Thank you for the super chat, popping the cherry. My Triple Crown. I need to start keeping a list of who's the Triple Crown winners. Because that would be interesting. Virginia Buttonweed in the building. Terrence J. Donna, my sweet Donna. PK's in the building. Love you to death. Who else? Brandon Martinez. Still batting 1,000, baby. Say what y'all want about B-Mart. He's still batting 1,000. Here's your weather update. Steven, the weather guy. Current conditions at BiffNet World Headquarters. 77 degrees. Dew point 59 degrees. Mostly sunny skies. 100% chance this weather is fucking boring. Yep. Nailed it. Chris Reyes is here. Rick C. hating on House. I like it. The Reverend. I got pulled away for work right when it went live. Yeah, well, tough shit, buddy. Marvin Wingfield in the building. Justin Swinford. Mimi. Truck driver Pookie. Aaron J. Bryant. There's Deanna. Who else? Jen. Love you, girl. Francisco. Oh my gosh. The gang's all here. Let's get after it, you guys. There's Sylvia. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Let's get after it. All right, Walt, I see you, buddy. Total Dallas. TDs is in the building. First things first. Do you guys notice anything different? You guys notice anything? Huh? You guys see anything different? Let me get this off the screen. Huh? You guys see anything? You see? You guys know? Come on, chat. Somebody fucking say something. You see it? What do you see? Bam! Nora got me that. Oh yeah, and the blue Hanukkah. Thank you. PK, you're all about that chick. Look at you. So yeah, Nora got me that game over sign for Christmas so that when my desk, when my desk goes in, that's going to go on these shelves that you guys don't see right now. And then, look, it's Oliver right here. She got me that little light up cat too to represent Oliver for the show. He's also going to be on the shelves every day now. He's going to be hanging out with us. And yes, if you didn't notice, the blue in the background, the blue and the white to represent the beginning of Hanukkah. So shout out to Lil Uzi Vert for reminding me. Much appreciated, and happy Hanukkah to all of my Jewish friends. I hope you have a wonderful and safe Hanukkah, everybody. Barry on desk, the forthcoming OnlyFans. Oh, no, girl. That would have to be a sturdy desk if I'm going to lay on that bitch. If I'm going to put these fat legs on that desk, yes, the blue lights, the game over, the cat. The cat, you really can't see Oliver, but there was really no good place to put him where he would have been seen all show. But I'm digging the game over. The game over changes colors. It's music activated, so I can be all and it'll change. No, I don't have friends. Shut up, Justin. I sit in this office. Even Nora's like, is this what you really do all day? I'm like, yes. From the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, I'm in this chair working. She's like, Jesus, you need to get a job. So, anyways, we're here, we're doing it, and I want to update you guys about something I'm very excited about. You guys know, trying to give back, passionate about that. And we have a special Barry on Deck show coming up this Saturday, December 12th, from 7 to 9 p.m. It is a stream-a-thon. Jerry, Bo, and myself are teaming up to bring you guys a cool little extra show. So this will be episode number 153. It is an official episode of Barry on Deck, but it is a holiday stream-a-thon and an opportunity for us to give back to people that need help. The show will be a stream-a-thon in partnership with Jerry, and we will be donating all the proceeds we make from the stream-a-thon to two organizations, the Positive Black Male Association, where we will be sponsoring families, entire families. They're going to give us what they're like, we need the following items. We need, this, that, and the other. And we're just going to put together packages for some of these families. And we're going to have maybe the opportunity for you guys to sponsor a family if you want to do that. Also, we're going to be helping the Bay Area Turning Point, which is an organization down in the Bay Area where they provide shelter, clothing, meals, and assistance to victims of domestic and sexual violence. So we're going to be raising money and buying toys for the kids. I mean, guys, some of the things on this list, a potty seat, that's what they're wanting. Like they socks. So we're going to be doing some good. We're going to buy some toys for these kids. They're going to have the opportunity to pick those toys out like they went shopping for them. It's going to be great. And everything we're doing and every penny we raise outside of fees for like PayPal or, YouTube or whoever, the auction site that we have that charges us a fee, outside of those fees, every single penny is going to these organizations as to help people and provide them some hope during the holiday season. So I want to encourage you to give big. Open up your heart and your wallet if you have the opportunity. And we've got some really cool ways for you to give. We've got the auction, which I've already shown you guys some of the things on there. It's up and going. We're adding new items every day, so make sure you check back on that. But today I wanted to focus on the raffle because you can actually get in on the auctions now, which we already have bids on all of those, but you can also buy raffle tickets and you don't even have to be watching the show to win. It's real simple to get raffle tickets for this show. It's super simple. All you have to do, I should have put this on the screen, but all you have to do is Venmo me. That's it. Just Venmo. Hold on. I'm going to put it real big. I know it's up in the top left corner, but I'm going to put this even bigger here. Venmo. There it goes. That's my Venmo. If you send me, why is this text wrapping? You raggedy bitch. Why are you text wrapping right now? Okay. You dumb son of a bitch. Let's maybe change the font a little bit. Laminac. Here we go. I can't see shit, you guys. There we go. Okay. So if you'll Venmo Barry-Laminac, all right, then you can get raffle tickets. And there are, let me, I got to pull up the damn, I don't even have my, what a shame. I don't even have the damn, I tweeted it out too, by the way. I thought I had this. I thought I made a slide for it, but apparently not. This is what's in the raffle, though. I will discuss what's in the raffle as I pull this up. But in the raffle, included in the raffle will be that signed Ralph Sampson and Hakeem Olajuwon picture you see on your left. That will be the grand prize. All right. We will also have a signed Dennis Rodman jersey, an authenticated and signed Dennis Rodman jersey that you can buy. We also have a signed baseball by Pete Rose, and he even put on it, "I'm sorry I bet on baseball." Like, you legitimately, you could win that baseball with just a $10 ticket. That's it. So raffle tickets are $10, and I'm going to put what they cost right now on the screen. So hold on, let me shrink the, oh my God, what is happening right now? Okay. Don't freak out, folks. I got this. This is why I need a fucking producer. Let's be real. I'm going to put this on this side. I don't need that. Let's close that. There we go. Now we're making headway, gang. Now we're making headway. And then here are the, hold on. I got this, famo. Don't worry. This is so good. This is why you show prep. And this is why you should give yourself enough time to show prep. Because that shit is keeps you organized. All right, there's your ticket prices underneath there. Does that make sense now? I don't know why that red thing is so long like that, but ignore that. But there's your ticket prices. You can get one ticket is $10. 3 tickets is $25. 7 tickets is $50. And for $100, you get 15 tickets. All right? So if you send $10 to my Venmo and just put JBOD raffle, that's all you got to put, or reference the raffle, okay? Then you're entered to win. We will be drawing items throughout the show. It's not just a one-time thing. We're going to be doing those raffle items throughout the show. So make sure you, give accordingly. But there's more than that to win, all right? We also will have a perfume set, a Burberry perfume set donated by Raheel and his pops, who owns a perfume shop. So you pay $10, you get a perfume set and gift it. There you go. Also on the list, 25 classes to train at a gym that is owned by one of the contestants on American Ninja Warrior. So you get to train American Ninja Warrior style. That's 25 free classes there. You get a free exam, x-ray, and cleaning at H-Town Dental. I think we know who needs that. Oh, yuck mouth Laminac. You get a signed book. You can win a signed book by Booker T, a signed book by Brad Gilmore. You get a Pick Your Poison prize, where you can either get a 1-month membership to Jerry Bowe's gambling group, or you can get a one month of free advertising on Barry on Deck. You can get a dinner for 4 from Kobos Q. Also, you could get a free wellness exam from the Y Factor. Shout out to Kobos Barbecue for donating. Shout out to the Y Factor for donating. Shout out to Jerry Bowe for donating. Booker T and Brad Gilmore, H-Town Dental, and Raheel for coming through in the clutch. So that's how you get tickets. You Venmo me. Look, it's cheap, it's easy, there's no fees, and all of the money for all of these things that we're giving away, all of the money from the raffle is going to go to like I told you, Bay Area Turning Point and the Positive Black Male Association. Very excited about this. Very, very excited about this. I still don't know why this. See, normally, now it's working. You raggedy bitch. Now it works like it's supposed to. When I take off the goddamn. I'll leave that. Okay. All right. Marvin Wingfield said, what are the requirements and responsibilities to be your producer? Well, you would have to be available from noon to 4 every single day. You would have to know the ins and outs of vMix and or Ecamm, because right now I'm using Ecamm Live. But pretty soon I'm going to be switching over to the streaming PC that I built to do the show full time. I didn't want to do it before the streamathon because I figured that would really fuck everything up. So we're going to dance with what brung us through Saturday. And then I think I'm going to start slowly switching to vMix. I've already streamed on Twitch a couple times on that PC. Now I'm going to use vMix to do it instead of Streamlabs, and then I'll slowly migrate. But you need to know those softwares need to be available from noon to 4 every day at least, and you need to be able to work for free because can't afford to fucking pay anybody. So that's the job requirements, Marvin. Listen, I don't want anybody working for free. I understand how shitty that is. I wouldn't. I mean, we talked yesterday with Jesse. I don't do comedy for free. I'm not expecting anybody to work for free. So I struggle through as my own producer until I can afford to pay somebody. I tell you what, though, I'm going to be honest. First person I start paying when I can afford a salary is not going to be a producer. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. It won't be me either. All right. Let's get to, real quick, if you haven't joined the Patreon, please go do so. It's so I can afford a producer and more. Patreon.com/Barry on Deck. Nailed it, Rev. /Barry on Deck. There are 2 tiers to sign up for. There is the big deckhead tier, the huge deckhead tier. With the big deckhead tier, you get stuff like a koozie. Let me see. I got a koozie in here. I should show you all the stuff you get. But for example, when you sign up, you'll get a Barry on Deck koozie. I'll send that to you. I'll send you a Barry on Deck sticker. If you're a huge deckhead, I'll send you the koozie, the sticker, and a drawstring bag, a picture of Oliver. Plus, you get 20% off and free shipping on all merchandise going forward. There's a lot of stuff you're going to get. You're going to get on the crawl. You're going to get a shout out on the show. So please go and sign up on the Patreon and support me if you want to. If you don't, cool. That's good too. All right. Let's get to the sports. We got a busy show, man. Let's keep rolling. Look, Demata, y'all know I'm gonna take care of my girl first before I even pay me. Okay? Before I even pay me. Yeah, BiffNet. No, put some respect on it. Executive administrator. Not just admin. Executive administrator. So, what do you say, Chris? You've never used your koozie? Really? Oh, man. That's not good. All right, here's your headlines for sports. Oklahoma and West Virginia has been called off due to COVID issues. Again, don't care. Paul George added 4 years and $190 million to his Clippers contract. I'm not saying they're dumb. They're dumb. I don't know if I would have given Paul George more money. Are you guys sold on PG? Are you guys sold on what he is? Are you guys sold on him as a star? I know he's good. But can we discuss look, I'm trying to do this. Can we discuss for us, by the way, water bitches, if you had the under on Thursday, you can suck it, hoes. All right, that just looked like I tried to blow my water. That was fucking weird. Oh, Texas, Kansas was canceled? Damn. They dropping like flies out here. The Reverend uses his koozies when he's out of socks. That was fucking gross. Oh, I haven't used mine because it's still white. Yeah, it was just sits in the drawer. By the way, this isn't one that I sent to people because the printer got a little ink run on it. You can see it right there. So yeah, I just throw it in the drawer because I would never send that to one of you guys. No way. Okay. Back to the headlines. Where are we going here? I just don't know. Oh, Paul George, listen. Clippers, what are you doing? I mean, we know what Paul George is. Good regular season player, but we know what he isn't. A good postseason player. Reliable, dependable. Somebody that's going to will you to a championship. Yet this dude has managed to parlay his contracts with OKC and the Clippers into what will amount to something like $290 million. Tell me what OKC and the Clippers have and will get out of that almost $300 million. Almost a third of $1 billion. Is that how math works? It's ridiculous. Now, I get it. He's why Kawhi went to the Clippers. I understand that. I'm not stupid. Kawhi don't need Paul George. He did it in Toronto without him. He's good, famo. Just a lot of money for a guy that really hadn't done shit outside of some decent numbers. Yeah, 6-time All-Star. Again, I get it. He's good. He's good. He's really good. So is James Harden. Hadn't won shit. Speaking of, James Harden is told he needs 6 straight negative COVID tests in order to be able to rejoin the team. Not that he gives a shit or he's in the hurry, but this is an NBA mandate. Stephen Silas said, man, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. He's just out there. I kind of feel bad right now for Stephen Silas. Do you guys? I feel bad that he's having to go through all this. This dude finally gets an opportunity to be a head coach in the NBA. When it happens, he's like, holy shit. I get to go to that team with 2 MVPs on it, 2 offensive-minded guys who can score and get theirs. And I'm an offensive-minded coach. I get to go there, and now, oh man, this is so great. Nope, not so great. Russ is gone. James wants to be gone. Eventually will be gone. He's causing problems. And if you're Stephen Silas, you got to be like, man, what the fuck, man? I feel bad for the dude, but I think he's handling it well so far. Other than the fact that he seems to be kind of ball-washing James a little too much for me in the media. Like, he's like, oh, well, I saw him today. I didn't really say anything. I just said hello. Excuse me? You're the boss, bro. You're the head coach. If you saw James in the hallway, it shouldn't have been like a, hey, James. Hi, James. I'd be like, bro, where the fuck you been? Get your shit together and get out there with your fucking team and act like a leader. What the fuck are you doing? I know you want to be traded. Fine, we'll find you a spot eventually. But until then, go be a man and be a leader and play for those guys out there on the floor. If you're not going to do it for the city, go do it for your teammates. I'll see you on the fucking court. Not walk off. Fuck that dude. Step up, Steven! Anyways, that's just my opinion. The Ravens' Dez Bryant cannot be happy. He had since his positive COVID test for the game against Dallas, where he was pulled 30 minutes before game time and was absolutely devastated and said he wasn't going to play the rest of the year because of it. Since then, he has twice tested negative and said as much and said, look, I didn't get it when it happened. He had 2 inconclusive tests. Then they did that rapid test, which is the one that came back positive, which is why he got pulled. But he's like, I don't get it. My routine is the same. This shouldn't be happening. And a lot of us probably think, yeah, right. Okay, Mr. Millionaire. Well, yeah, you just sit in the house all day like the rest of us losers, don't you? Well, maybe he was right. Maybe he knows his routine and he doesn't get around people. So he's tested negative twice. I've never said these words in my life. Get ready, chat. Get ready, folks at home, watching now and later. That's a candy. Get ready. Don't snicker. I don't want y'all crackling up. I don't know why I'm making horrible, horrible candy bar puns. Anyways, back to the topic. What was I talking about? Whatchamacallit? Son of a bitch. Anyways, I've never said these words before, but I kind of feel sorry for Dez Bryant. Yeah, I know. I kind of feel bad for the dude. He wanted to play the kid. He wants to prove. He wants to. This isn't his fault, especially if he tested negative and twice. Sucks, man. It really does suck. Almost as much as my candy bar puns, which came out of the blue. I don't know. What are you going to do? Listen, I only made those puns because they bring me joy. Almond joy. All right. Go fuck yourself, Laminack. What are you doing? All right. DeMar DeRozan. You recall the story about DeMar DeRozan and finding an intruder in his home who went after his little girl, and DeMar DeRozan chased him off. Well, the story's coming out now that it was actually his little girl that was responsible for running the guy off. Basically, what happened was, he was downstairs. His little girl was upstairs in like a playroom, and the intruder walks in, sees the little girl, and does this to her. To the little girl, 7-year-old girl. There's an intruder in your home and he's giving you this? That's fucking creepy. But this 7-year-old girl, this brave little girl, instead of just going, okay, she knew better. She was like, no, fuck this, homie. She gets up, starts screaming, and runs downstairs, at which point DeMar DeRozan gets up and goes and chases the dude. He kind of bailed, and then DeMar DeRozan chases the dude out. Apparently, he broke their sliding glass door. This was crazy. $15,000 in damage. What kind of slide? Is that bitch, is the frame gold? $15,000 in damage. What kind of sliding glass door? I can go down to the goddamn Home Depot right now and let me Google that shit. I could get a sliding glass door. Let's see how much they are. Home Depot. There we go. Let's see. Okay. This one, nope, those aren't sliding. Those are French doors. You raggedy bitches. Where's the sliding glass doors at? French patio, Anderson. Here we go. Common door. I mean, $800? $15,000. These hoes are $1,000 if you get probably a decent one. This dude paid $15,000 for a sliding glass door. Unless he knocked the whole goddamn wall down, I don't know what's going on here. But I will say props to this little girl. Props to her brave self for not listening to that man and jumping up and being like, fuck this dude, this ain't right, and going and getting her daddy. By the way, his comment about the whole thing when asked, was he shook? Was it a problem? DeMar DeRozan's quote, man, I grew up in Compton. I've been through worse. That's fucking wild. How many of you would just, you would be shook to the core? You would be, your sense of security would have been decimated by an event like that. I mean, I know I would. I've been robbed before. I've had my home broken into before. I've had my car broken into before. I've been robbed at gunpoint before. It shakes you, especially your home, especially the place where you live and eat and sleep and raise your kids, and somebody comes in on their own. That shakes you, man. But this dude's like, whatever. I grew up in Compton. I've been through worse. Pretty crazy. Look, Clarence, I grew up in New Orleans. Enough said. Josh, I wish a motherfucker would. Josh just went Cedric the Entertainer. P. Jones said, $15,000 in damages. How much did the door actually cost? That's what I'm saying. Why are we freeing VB? What happened? What happened to Virginia Buttonweed? Did he get a timeout? What did VB say? Oh, damn. Yeah. You know the rules, famo. VB, you know I love you, buddy. You know you're my guy. But any reference to this topic gets you a 5-minute timeout. House? Let's cook it up. Luis, if you're here, let's cook it up. Jeremy Vinegar, if you're here, one of you guys, let's time out this sumbitch. You know the rules, famo. You know the fucking rules. I got you, White Magic. I just was in the middle of headlines. I know you guys. Give me a goddamn minute. I love you, but give me a minute. I'm in the middle of a show. Fuck. House, ring it up. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here we go. What other headlines did I have? Oh, the last one. Ohio State is actually going to get to play in the Big Ten title game. Oh, big surprise. Everybody caved to the big man on campus. I guarantee you, if that was one of the raggedy ass bottom feeders in the Big Ten, they ain't voting on that shit. They'd have been like, oh, well, sorry. We'll just send Ohio State. It's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. Gotta give a shout out. Gotta say thank you to our very first raffle donation. Also, good to see White Magic actually has a Venmo now. You know, for months on this show, when White Magic kindly, generously would donate or send money, he would have to do it through Jen. He'd be like, hey, Jen, will you send Barry $10 and then I'll send you $10? Like, and then she'd be like, this is from White Magic. He said, go fuck yourself, or whatever the message was. It's good to see you joining us in the 21st. Even White Magic, even my stupid ass had a Venmo. I even have a Cash App, and I didn't know that. So yeah, White Magic though. First raffle ticket purchased, $100 Thank you, buddy. And he said, I want the Dennis Rodman. How did I know the bad boy of sports talk radio, White Magic, would want the Dennis Rodman jersey? How did I know he would want the autographed Dennis Rodman jersey? Well, I hope you win it. I hope if that's what you want, you win it. I really do. It's going to be cool. And again, homie, thank you so much. I just want to share this with you guys. We are going to raise a shit ton of money for people, and I'm so excited about it. We're going to do it with your help. And White Magic, way to kick it off, buddy. I really appreciate you. Seriously. Thank you so much. All right, another sports topic that we need to get to. Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Let me get it together, Laminack. Get it together, Laminack. Don't crack up on them now. You guys, I don't know if you heard this. I don't know if you heard this or not. LSU. Let me quote the headline. LSU self-imposes a bowl game ban for 2020 as part of their cooperation with NCAA investigation. Oh my God. All right, so they're 3-5. What are you fucking doing, LSU? You ain't fooling nobody. I guarantee you, if they were fucking 8-0, they'll be like, nah, we'll get them next year. We'll make it up. We'll do that. Fuck you. We got a chance this year. How convenient that they are 3-5. Now, don't get me wrong. Oh, they're bowl eligible. Yeah, fucking everybody. Rice is goddamn bowl eligible this year because of COVID. But don't give me that shit. Nobody wants a 3-5 LSU team in their bowl. They might get like, I don't know, the fucking Gumbo Bowl or some bullshit like that in Louisiana. Nobody wants LSU in a serious big time bowl this year. I'm sorry. That's just a fact. So for them to be like, hey, famo, we'll sit out this season. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't get that $1,000 bowl check from the fucking Rice Bowl or I don't know, whatever the fuck it is. It's just ridiculous. And so then, he's playing the part. He's like, oh, the Zatarans Bowl. The hoo-wee, shoo-wee, look at that Gator Bowl. No, that's not the Tampon Bowl. Damn, the Kotex Absorption Bowl. Shit. So Coach O had a response, and I'm going to read you. Now, these are his words, not mine. So LSU head coach Ed Orgeron had the following to say about what his school chose to do about being in a bowl. I was saying practically address the past. I said this morning about others. I am especially proud of our player, dedicated program. Go Tigers! His words, not mine. So, it's fucking ridiculous. Hey guys, this is the equivalent of a dude that's never had sex with a woman in his life and he's in his 30s. Like, I think I'm gonna wait till marriage until I have. Yeah, you don't get that choice, brosif. Hey, we're not gonna go to a bowl game this year. Yeah, that was already decided with your fucking 3-5 record, you morons. It's just ridiculous. Hey, go Tigers! Go home, because you ain't going to a bowl this year, apparently. Virginia Buttonweed, thank you for the super chat. People are laughing, so I have no idea what this says, but let's get after it. Home Alone is about intruders and is a Christmas movie. There, I said it, and the sequel. I don't have a problem with that. I think you want me to have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. Home Alone is about a family during Christmas taking a trip for Christmas to go visit relatives at Christmas and leaves their son all alone at Christmas to have to go through Christmas without his family on Christmas. Okay. There's no such thing as a fucking intruder movie. What are you talking about? When you look at genres on Netflix, they're not like drama, comedy, action, intruder. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit ass argument. It's a Christmas movie. It's not, it's in the gray area, I guess, to a certain degree. Still a Christmas movie. Still a Christmas. It's not like a traditional Elf or Bad Santa Christmas movie, but I would consider it a Christmas movie. However, an action stuff, the whole plot is that it involves Christmas. The plot of the other movie, which will remain nameless because if I give myself a 5-minute timeout, that's going to make for a weird segment. That is just a fucking action flick that takes place during a certain time of year. Not the same thing. I'm tired of having this argument. Seriously, okay, here's the bottom line. I'm not addressing this anymore. This bit and this joke has run its course. If you think that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, I want to invite you to go fuck yourself because it's not, and I'm never discussing this again on this show. I'm done. Okay, it's getting old. It's not even funny anymore. It was funny at first. I just don't, it's run its course. So you guys can have it in the chat. I don't give a fuck. We got to find a new bit. All right. Before we get to this new thing it's a new show on Netflix by Nicolas Cage. Nope. Before we get to that, though, oh my God, I got so many slides. Before we get to that, I want to talk to you guys. Whoop, that's the wrong button. I want to talk to you guys about the Streamathon this weekend. I just want to plug that. This is one of my reads. Yeah, I'm promoting myself using a read. Happens all the time. Deal with it. Yes, House, you can still time out people if they do it. All the proceeds benefit the Bay Area Turning Point and the Positive Black Male Association. It's the Jerry Bow and Barry on Deck Streamathon, Saturday, December 12th, 2020, 7 to 9 p.m. right here on this YouTube channel, Barry is Funny. Also on my Facebook page, Barry is Funny. Jerry Bow is going to join me. We're going to have special guests. We're going to have special pop-in guests on video. You won't want to miss those. You've seen some of the auction items we have. You've seen some of the raffle items we have. We're going to have a talent show contest. If you want to get involved with that, hit me up, hit Jen up, hit Jerry Bow up, and tell them you want on the talent show. All of this and more, it's going to raise money for some wonderful causes and some people in need of some joy in their life, and we are going to provide that to them. And speaking of that, I want to say shout out to the Y Factor for offering up a free wellness exam in the raffle, you guys. I am preaching to you about getting healthy in 2021, and now's your chance to even get it for free if you win the raffle. But guys, don't wait on the raffle. Please, for the love of everything, go get a wellness exam at the Y Factor. I can't run this show if you all die because you're too macho to not go get checked out and find out what's wrong with you and get it fixed. So get on over to mancenters.com, get an appointment. They're not going to waste your time. They're not going to slow play this and drag it out and try to upsell you and get you to pay for stuff that you don't need. What you're going to get is efficiency and one-on-one interaction with a doctor. They're going to treat you like a person. They're going to come up with a game plan for you, for your health and wellness. Now, if you're healthy, that's it. They're going to let you know. But if you need help in certain areas of your life to get healthy, they're going to give you a playbook. It's up to you to follow that playbook. No pressure at all. It's fast. It's easy to see a doctor. They have end-of-year procedures going on right now. It's the perfect time to use those health benefits. So please book your checkup as soon as possible because the end of year it's approaching rapidly. All right. They do vasectomy, circumcision, sound wave treatment for erectile dysfunction, all that and more. Just hit up mancenters.com and somebody from the office will call you to confirm your appointment. And do me a favor, when you do hit them up, please make sure you tell them you heard about it on Barry on Deck. That's how they know that their advertising dollar is working. So please do me that favor. Book your appointment and then be like, yeah, I heard about you on Barry on Deck. In between his ranting of Christmas movies, I heard about it. So I appreciate that, you guys. Okay. Oh yeah, Luis said I went there. I can vouch they are legit. I did too, Luis. I went and had the boys checked out. House went there as well. Listen, P. Jones, you shut your dirty whore mouth. Josh, I don't know if you're trolling right now or not. I don't know if you're trolling or not. Don't know. Yes, you can still time out everyone. Just time them out. I don't give a fuck. Just have at it. I trust you and Luis and Jeremy. You guys are the chat moderators. Okay. We have to get to this story. I didn't get to it yesterday, but Nicolas Cage. Oh, that was weird. That froze for a second. Nicolas Cage has a new show coming out on Netflix. It is called The History of Swear Words. And it is going to cover the origins of some of your favorite swear words, like fuck, shit, bitch, dick, pussy. I can't believe I just said that. And damn. This is all and more. Now, this is going to be absolutely hilarious. I'm not a big Nicolas Cage fan. I'm not like, oh, I've watched his movies. I've seen some. Face Off. Was that him? With Travolta. What's the one where he's fucking on the treasure hunt? What is it? Con Air? I don't know. I had a whole joke about Nicolas Cage movies. I even forgot the joke. I'm not a huge fan, but I'm a fan of this concept. And I think that, you know, he's the right guy to do this. I think this is going to be pretty good. So they're going to go through the entire origin of these curse words so you can find out, where did the word shit come from? I haven't watched it yet. I haven't seen it. I will tell you, I was taught the origins of the word fuck at a very young age by my mom. I don't know why she taught me where the word fuck came from. Does anybody in the chat know? Without Googling it, you raggedy bitches. National Treasure, that's what it was. Without Googling it, do you know the origins of the word fuck? The origins of the word fuck, I'm going to let you guys respond. The origins of the word fuck is there used to be a ruling over in England, I believe, where you couldn't have sex unless the king said so. So it was an abbreviation. You used to had to get permission from the king to fornicate. So it was fornication under the consent of the king. F-U-C-K. If you wanted to fuck, you had to get some papers first. Fornication under the consent of the king. F-U-C-K. And that was the origins of the word fuck. So I ruined that episode for you. So. But that's what I was told. And that's what BZH420 said. I don't understand this. Louise said, if you need someone telling you where shit comes from, you got bigger issues. Oh, God, I can't believe I put that on the screen. Matthew. Yo, King, I'm trying to smash honey dip. Can I get that paper, bro? Can I get that stamp of approval? No, it's not an abbreviation for a crime. What? No, I don't think it was a crime. It wasn't a crime. You had to get consent. I could be wrong though. Listen, I'm no fucking genius. All right, so 713 Hooligan, aka Josh, swears he's not trolling me. He said, I understand the auction, I'm just not 100% on the raffle. I'm gonna do it one more time because I want to get maximum dollars for the fine people at Bay Area Turning Point and the Positive Black Male Association. So here's the dealio, Josh and everybody else that missed it at the beginning of the show. The raffle is real simple. You buy raffle tickets. The best way to do that, you can buy them during the show or at any point, but the best way to do that is to Venmo me at Venmo at Barry-Laminack. These are the costs of the raffle tickets. One ticket is $10, 3 tickets is $25, 7 tickets is $50, and 15 tickets is $100. So White Magic has already Venmo'd me $100 for tickets. He got 15 tickets into the raffle. Ray Ramirez, thank you, buddy. Truck driver Pookie just paid $50 for raffle tickets. So he's got 7 tickets in the drawing. And you might be saying, well, big deal, what's it for? Oh, contraire, mon frere. It is for that signed Hakeem Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson picture, which you can have framed. That's the grand prize. But we also have an autographed Dennis Rodman jersey. We have an autographed Pete Rose baseball. We have a Burberry cologne set. We've got 25 classes to train like an American Ninja Town. I got to get the name of the gym. I don't have it. H-Town Dental's giving you a free exam, x-rays, and cleanings. A signed book from Booker T. Brad Gilmore has a book that he signed. You get to pick your poison, either 1 month membership in the Jerry Bow, I don't know what the group is called, the Degenerate Gambling Group, or you can get a month of advertising on Barry on Deck. And we're letting you pick, because some of you guys may not have a business. So you might be like, oh, fuck, I'll join Jerry Bow's group for a month. Or you may not like to gamble, but have a small business you're trying to promote, or a Twitch stream or whatever. Well, you'll get a month of advertising to do that here. You get dinner for $4 from Cobos Barbecue, or a free wellness exam from the Y Factor. So all of that, all you got to do is Venmo me at Barry Laminack, 10, 25, 50, or $100. I will keep track of it. We're going to be doing drawings like every so often so that we can get rid of all this stuff and get it in your hands. And thank you for your generosity. So that's how it works, Josh. That is the raffle. It's going to be a hoot of a show too. So make sure you tune in. All right, what time is it? 2:46. Okay, this is going to be fun. This may carry over into Cody Stoots joining me in hour number 2, which is also going to be fun. We're going to talk a lot of Texans. We're going to figure out what's going on with your boys down there on Kirby. The Reverend said, do the picture and the ball have JSA? So the picture comes from Jesse, who was on yesterday, and he said all of his stuff is authenticated. So my guess is the picture does. I don't know about the ball. I would say yes, because Jerry Bow got the ball from Fitterman Sports, who provided the jersey, the Mike Tyson glove, the Earl Campbell helmet, those two things in the auction, the glove and the helmet. But and all of those are authenticated. So my guess, House, and this is not concrete, so nobody quote me on this, but my guess is that yes, the jersey is or the ball is JSA. What am I missing with CC? What am I missing? What am I missing? I don't understand. She said, ha ha ha, he can't, I think he can't see me. Who? What am I missing? CC, what's going on? Oh, what form did the request come in? Is that what I missed? Really? That's why you think I can't see you? Because I didn't read that message, CC? You've had better moments on this show. Way better. Yeah. That's what I missed? Oh. You guys, I love y'all so much. It is so hard to see everything in the chat. Look, I'm going to share my screen with you. Let's just do this. I just want you guys to see this. I know you don't need to see it. I know, whatever. In fact, I'm just going to turn this around here. See that? That's my chat window. I have at most, I almost canceled the whole show there by clicking I have at most 5 chat messages at a time on my screen. That's all I have room for. That's it. Cece, Jesus, I love you, baby girl. I see, this is a problem. I can't do it every time to everybody because y'all bitches complain about it takes too long. So I said, okay, we'll just do it for a minute. Some of you gonna get missed. Your chat messages might get missed. I don't have a producer to go back and tell me House tries it, but I might miss it. Listen, I do the best I can do. If y'all think I'm slighting you, I'm not. Why would I slight anyone and run you off? I would never want to do that. Okay? You didn't see a Pornhub tab. Shut the fuck up, Taco. No way. You didn't see a Pornhub tab. Did you? No, you didn't see a Pornhub tab. Shut up. You raggedy bitch. I need a bigger monitor and chat window. Good God. That's all I need is to spend the entire show just reading the chat. I love y'all, but that would be an awful Barry on Deck. Seriously, it would be like this show would just be me going. I did a super chat on Tuesday and it got missed. It happens. Oh, no shit. Matthew, I'm sorry, buddy. Listen, again, it's not intentional. It's definitely not intentional. And I don't know why they're not all firing off, but. D-Mata said, what you need to do, Barry. God, you sound like my wife, bro. What you need to do is get a 55-inch screen or put your glasses on. First of all, I can't see far away. I can see up close. I don't need my glasses. And if I wore my glasses, it would be an even worse show. Look, This is what you want to see the whole time. And by the way, like when I have my glasses on, I can't see up close. It looks weird right now. So I'd rather not do the show with the glasses on. Okay? Second of all, this screen is plenty big. It's just, look, I'll show you what the setup looks like. I've showed you guys this before, but I'll show you again. This is what the whole setup looks like. That's the screen. So it's a wide screen. So I have to put the light in the middle, but then over here on this side, I have my scenes over here on the left, up top, which you can't really tell because of the light. Down below, those are the different overlays and slides. Up here is the actual video. These are my files. This is my show prep. This is the chat, and then that's my sound because you bitches always tell me I don't have my mic turned on. So that's what the whole screen looks like. That's all. This is why I say I need a producer. I have to do all that and then run the boards. Run the shit. So everybody's a goddamn critic. Well, I tell you what. You sons of bitches. It's not a replica ring from the Halo. It's a fucking cheap ass ring light I got for like $10. No, it's not a sexy ring light. It's a cheap. Nora got that for me. It's like, I think it's like $10 or $20 or some shit. I don't know. It works though. It's just, you know, like I can fire it up and make me look pasty white as shit. It's got that neat feature. All right, let's do this. I'm going to do these as quickly as I can. How many of these names did you mispronounce in 2020? Chris, you know me too well, brother. When the chat starts irritating me, it is fucking shot time. We shall overcome. We're going to power through. So how many of these names did you get wrong? We don't have time for this shit. We'll do this tomorrow. It's fucking 2:53. I got to go to break in 2 minutes to get Cody Stoots on here. We'll do the name thing tomorrow. It'll be fun. Don't miss it. Don't be a raggedy bitch and not show up tomorrow because maybe I hurt your feelings. VB. How is the new PC rig gonna work? Hal says, I do need a shot. Fuck it. But I don't have anything good to shoot. I want to shoot Jameson. That's all I want to shoot. Jameson. But I'll shoot some Crown. Fuck it. Calm me down, you raggedy bitches. So judgy. It's like I have, how many people are watching this show right now? It's like I have 62 wives. There's 61 people watching. And Nora's judgy as it is. Love you, baby. Nora's judgy, though. Anyways, cheers to you, judgy sons of bitches. I love you. Cece, I love you the most. I love you the most. You know this girl. Cheers, you guys. Ugh. Darian. God, I hate shooting Crown. That's awful. Let's see. Hal said, how is the new PC rig going to work when you're gaming on one side of room and show on the other? What do you mean? So it's all going to be on the desk. What I'm going to do is I'm going to probably leave the laptop over here so that I can film like certain things here and have the desk in the background. But most of my live streaming, I'm going to have the desk there with the rig and everything. So the PC, I'll be eventually streaming this show on the PC full time plus gaming over there. So I have my PS4 or PS4. I probably am never going to get one of them bitches. And the PC over there, and then I'll have my laptop that I run everything on right now, and the monitor over here, and that's how I'll function. Katie said, "Trust, you don't need that ring light to be translucent. I mean pasty." When is the auction over? It will end when the show is over. So Saturday the 12th at 9 p.m. ish. The auction is set. Actually, the auction is set to end at 8:45 on Saturday. So the auction ends at 8:45, and then we'll announce all the winners on the show, and that'll be the end of it. Hey, what's up, Joe Pro? Reverend said, I thought you were streaming on one side and gaming on the other. No. I'm going to do all the streaming from that side. And then this, you ever watch Alpha Gaming Channel, Reverend? What he does is he has his streaming side and then he has his recording side. And that's basically what I'm going to mimic. I'm going to have a way to record here and I'm going to stream over there. So yeah. And I'll probably do all my editing over there too, because it'll have the bigger monitor. Okay. What'd I miss? I haven't looked at the show auction today. Where's it at? Just go to, look, here's an easy way to get to the auction, you guys, because I do want y'all to do it. Now, this is case sensitive. So please make sure you follow the case sensitive. There's 4 capital letters and 3 lowercase letters. You have to make sure that you do it like that or it won't work. So go to bit.ly / capital J, capital B, capital O, capital D, capital H, lowercase ELP. If you do that, it'll take you right to the auction site and you can check the items and bid as your heart is content. And bid or until your heart is content. All right, it's 2:56. We're past the time here. This was going to be a show topic, but I found a video for it, so I made it the break video for the day. It's all about what we Googled in 2020. It's actually pretty interesting, pretty heartwarming, pretty touching. You shouldn't cry. I maybe teared up a little bit a couple of times, but you should be okay. Anyways, coming up after this short break, Cody Stoots is going to join me. He's a writer for Sports Illustrated, covers the Texans. He's my buddy. He's my pal. We're going to talk everything and anything right after this break. Don't go anywhere. It's Barry on Deck. We're back in 5 minutes.
The most human trait is to want to know. We're still searching.
number 2 of Barry on Deck. Thank you guys for sticking around through the break. Joining me on the program right now, a man who needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one because he's worthy of it. Cody Stoots is joining me right now. You may remember Cody from our days back when we both had a job in radio. You might remember him from, what was it, SB Nation Radio? You might remember him from 610's In the Loop with, what was his, were you first or was Lopez first?
In the Loop with John Lopez and Cody Stoots.
That's just because he had 20 plus years on you in the business. Is that why you got to go first? Ugh.
Well, it used to be when I first got on the show, it was me, John Lopez, and Dante Hall, and they did 20 years of experience in the city. John Lopez, former NFL All-Pro Dante Hall, and Houston native Cody Stoots. And I was like, we couldn't come up with one thing. Houston native. You know what they put on my bio on ESPN? They were like, Joe Blake was with the Rockets for 20 years. He's been a staple in the Houston sports media landscape. Barry Laminack loves the Rockets. Bro, what? Man, it was like that petty. It was just like, oh, Barry likes fucking Houston sports. He's been a sports fan. I was like, Jesus Christ. Is this what I got? Is this what I got? I feel you on that, homie. Yeah, no, I was like, we couldn't get the big, even when Dante left, I was like, we couldn't have changed it up. We could have just, I mean, I don't need an intro. We could have just said John Lopez and Cody Stoots. They're on the radio talking sports. But
they always got to be like, well, you know, John wanted his part. He wanted his creds. It's like comics, right? You know the game. You hung around comedy enough. You did some open mics and shit. You know how that shit goes. It's like, nah, fam, if I'm on TV, you got to mention that.
Yeah.
Like, you got to tell people. He was on Nick Mom at Night or whatever bullshit ass credit you got. You dude, there are people who self-produced and released some bullshit ass 10-minute special on Amazon Prime because legitimately anybody can upload a fucking video to Amazon and have it available.
I did not know that.
On Amazon Prime, and they're like, you may have seen him on his special on Amazon Prime. Bitch,
Guess who's about to have a sports special on Amazon Prime next week?
Bro, you shot that shit in your garage and you uploaded it on your mama's internet. Get the fuck out of here. You ain't got no goddamn special.
The Stoots Sports Special on Amazon Prime.
It's comedy. It's sports. It's low budget and filmed in the garage, but goddamn it, it's a credit. It's Stoots on sports.
Exactly.
Speaking of that, homie, we haven't talked. When I go to dial you up on Skype, it says the last time I talked to anybody on Skype.
Yep.
Can you believe it's been 4 months since you've done this show?
Yeah, was it August 19th or something like that?
That's too long. Why did you let this go that long?
Well, I mean,
no.
Why did you let this go this long?
Well, listen, I'm a busy man,
You
Cody.
booked the guest.
What? No, that's my producer.
Oh, well, you got to talk to the producer.
That's me. I think I got a fucking. I have one.
You got to put on your glasses that you use for the producer booking.
Yeah. No, that was the producer. I'm really sorry. I didn't see. I have a list. I just didn't. I just didn't know. No, I was like August or 4 months ago. That's a long fucking time. A lot has happened for you since then. The last time we talked, you told a story about how you bombed an interview and absolutely shit the bed in the process.
Yes.
But you are the story of redemption and resurrection. You've got a sweet ass gig now. Tell the people about it.
So I work over at Sports Illustrated. I cover the Texans for Sports Illustrated, and
fancy pants.
Yeah, pretty fancy, I guess. So it's good. I love working over there with those guys, and I was happy they brought me into the fold. And we've been churning it out, man. So not. The Chronicle isn't the only one to get exclusives and break news these days, I
love it, dude. Are you enjoying the gig? Are you kind of happy to be back? Because I know how that feels, right? Like I'm still on the outside looking in. I know how it must. Describe to me how it feels to kind of. It's almost like legitimizing, right? Like you feel like I don't feel like people respect the hustle until you have something like a name like that attached to you.
Well, it doesn't hurt that it's Sports Illustrated's a heritage brand that's been around forever. So that's incredible to be associated with them and to be in the machine that they have and reach the audience that they've already built and sort of introduce myself to a new audience. But then it's great to reinforce to the people that do follow, that do pay attention, hey, like Sports Illustrated thought enough of me to bring me in. So I'm in with Sports Illustrated now. I helped them on their Texans coverage. So that's great. I couldn't be happier, and those guys are taking care of me. And it's like you said, you're back in the game. I mean, I don't believe the Texans would have had any issue with Cody Stoots, who does the Stoots cast, popping into Zooms. I don't think they would have had any issue. But it's a lot easier when it's Cody Stoots from Sports Illustrated popping into the Zooms and asking, Anthony Weaver a question, or asking Deshaun Watson a question, or this or that. So yeah, it's. I just felt it didn't feel right as an independent to go in there and cover the team as close as how I now cover the team now with Sports Illustrated.
Now, were you still trying to do that as an independent? Were you still like, okay, I'm going to go, I know everybody's going to, think what they think about me doing this as an independent, or did you kind of lay low until you found that next gig?
No, I didn't. I covered the team from the same access that everyone could have. I watched the periscopes, I watched the games, but it wasn't. I wouldn't get to ask the questions. I mean, I could have, but it felt to me like I needed a brand behind me, and I didn't have. I mean, the Stoots cast, that was 9 episodes in, didn't feel like a brand enough to say, "Hey, I'm covering the Texans now. You guys remember me?"
I'm 150 episodes in, and I would still feel like that. I would be like,
right,
I mean, there's like you're competing against ESPN and SI, and Bleacher Report has cachet. Like, The Athletic is just
now
exploded.
If YouTube Sports started a conglomerate and they threw your show on there, it'd be a little bit different.
Yeah.
So that's when I told them, like, hey, Sports Illustrated, they brought me into the fold. I'll see you the next time there's a Zoom, and there I was. And then I kind of waited a little bit till they could recognize my name like in the list, and then I was like, all right, I'm in. I'm gonna start asking questions, and just because I feel like, and this isn't directed at anybody, and this is everybody does it their own way.
Hold on, pause. Anytime somebody says this isn't directed at anybody, it's totally directed at somebody.
Well, I just
messing with you.
I think that when you look at an 0-4 football team that fires their head coach and then a couple weeks later they're back to losing, it's not as interesting to somebody. It's not as interesting to some people. We put the injury report out every day. There's an injury report. Mm-hmm. We cover who's starting, who's not starting, inactives at SI. I mean, we cover this team. It doesn't matter if they were 0-16 or headed to be 16-0. We cover them the same way. And then because some of those things aren't as interesting as they are in the course of a better season, we give you stuff like I had the top 5 head coaching candidates last week on SI. I had the top 5 coaches you don't want the Texans to hire this week on SI.
Who are they? Who are the top? Well, don't spoil it. Who was who? Give me your pick from all that you maybe shouldn't have made that list. Was there a guy that made the list that you're like, eh?
No, I mean, I put it out. The 5 guys you shouldn't hire. Hiring Dabo Swinney be stupid.
Okay.
Dabo Swinney's never coached in the NFL. Dabo Swinney's greatest asset is he's an incredible recruiter. That is muted in the NFL. That doesn't help you in the National Football League.
Yeah.
You know what? You know who else I wouldn't hire? Jim Harbaugh. I wouldn't hire Jim Harbaugh. You know why Jim Harbaugh was awesome in San Francisco? Because he had the best defensive coordinator in football in Vic Fangio, who's now the head coach in Denver. So he ain't joining up with Jim Harbaugh. And he had a really good offensive coordinator, Greg Roman, who's the offensive coordinator in Baltimore. He ain't joining up with Jim Harbaugh when he gets back in the NFL. And Jim Harbaugh has not hired a good coordinator since he hired those 2 guys. He'd been awful at Michigan. So I wouldn't hire Jim Harbaugh. Obviously, I put on there, there's no way you can hire Romeo Crennel. That was one of them.
Oof.
I wouldn't hire Romeo Crennel.
No.
Nice guy.
Did you see his record as an interim and then subsequent getting the job from it? It was awful.
He's like 28-47 or something like that.
Yeah, awful. Not the guy you want. Great coordinator. Awful head coach.
They won 2 games the year after he was the interim coach in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And you know who his offensive coordinator was? Greg Roman, who's the offensive coordinator in Buffalo, who some people want to be the Texans head coach. Fun little fact there.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. So I mean, I'm in on this team. I
love it.
Despite the fact Tim Kelly is probably not going to be here next year as the offensive coordinator, what he says every week matters. It matters because to me, week in, week out, how the Texans perform, how they look, some of the players that are on that team, that's all about a job interview and a presentation and a resume that the Texans are putting on the table for the next GM, for the next head coach. Because if you just look like dog crap for 12 weeks after Bill O'Brien got fired. Who wants to be the GM there? But the fact that Deshaun Watson looks like a freaking monster out there. Bleacher Report writes it this morning. They talked to NFL executives. They did a poll, and the Texans are the number one place that GMs want to go far and away.
No, hold on. No, this is blowing my mind.
Deshaun Watson.
Is that really? Because if I'm a GM and I look at the Texan situation, I mean, it's as bad as the Rockets. It's as bad as who would want to be a GM or a head coach in Houston right now? There's literally no draft picks in the entire fucking city.
Yeah.
Why would you want to run this organization? It's been decimated by Bill O'Brien.
Because you have no idea if Trevor Lawrence is going to be as good as Deshaun Watson. You have no idea if Justin Fields is going to be as good as Deshaun Watson. Matt Ryan's not as good as Deshaun Watson. And Justin Herbert's not as good as Deshaun Watson. It's all based on number 4. And look, outside of number 4, it's rough.
It's rough. Don't get me wrong. Even JJ. Like, literally, who would you say, Cody, their second best player on this team is? I'm interested, because I know what I think, but who do you think?
The second best player on their team is Laramie Tunsil.
Thank you. Yes. Most people are like, it's J.J. Watt. No, it's not. It's literally Deshaun Watson, Laramie Tunsil, and then there's probably a pretty significant distance between ratings on those two versus the rest of the team, including Jesus Watt. It is bad, man. This team is old and inexperienced at the same time. It's weird. It's weird.
It's a really weird roster makeup because the Chiefs went all in last year, used every asset they could to be as successful as possible, and they had a bunch of just ass kickers on their team, from Tyrann Mathieu to Frank Clark to all the guys that they have. And then the Texans tried to do the same thing, and they only had 2 ass kickers. It was like,
you had an idiot making bad decisions. Real quick, I have to tell you this before we continue because I love this conversation and I don't want it to stop. It's why you're here. But the chat is like, oh shit, Cody looking good. Oh shit, I see you, Cody. You've been working out. You've been doing something to get sexy on me.
No, I'm fat as ever.
You look great though, dude. Don't say that. It must be the hat.
I got my teeth clean.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what you lost 4 pounds of plaque. That's good.
The teeth look better, and I finally learned how to straighten out my goatee so it's not crooked anymore.
Oh, was it crooked?
It used to be this side would be this side would be further out than the other side, but I finally figured out how to straighten it out.
Okay.
So maybe that's it. I don't know, but I got on the scale the other day. I'm disgusted with myself.
Oh, bro. So. Well, listen.
Who's not these days? Who's not?
Bro, I feel so bad for Nora, my wife. I'm just like, you have to see this naked. I feel bad just walking around the bedroom and bathroom without a shirt. I'm like, she just must be absolutely disgusted. Looking at this fat, pasty body walk around, just like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's the worst part. Is it's not like you can be outside and get a nice little sheen on it too. It's been cool. So you haven't been outside shirtless or anything. That's my gimmick. At least during the summer, fat looks better tan.
Oh,
so
it's pasty fat. I mean, I have cellulite in my titties. I'm like, how do you get cellulite in your titties? Well, I found out how. It's awful.
Yeah.
So, okay. Donna said, oh, that's it. It was the teeth. No, listen, some people want to know, were you behind and you don't have to disclose this, but the chat is asking, and we try to recognize the chat, but they want to know, there was an article that recently came out with SI that's talking about the shit show in Houston and the Jack Easterby issues and all that. Are you, I don't know if your name was on the article. I haven't seen them yet, but were you participating in the information gathering at the very least, or did you have anything to do with those articles for SI? Because you are the guy right now.
So Bishop and Jenny Vrentis, the people that authored this, they've been doing this for, they've been working on this for a couple months. That's part of their investigative stuff. I handle more of a day-to-day lean on the Texans.
So you're the beat writer. You're more of a beat writer.
Yeah. I would lean more towards beat writer columnist than, that's some investigative reporting. Now, some of the stuff that they talked about in their big article is stuff that we talked about a couple months ago on TexansDaily.com, on the SI Texans site. And one of the big things is Jack Easterby's changing resume. Now, Mike Florio's reported on that for a couple months now. One of the things I noticed is Jack Easterby's His nonprofit organization that he runs, that to date he's been paid almost $500,000 to run that nonprofit organization. His nonprofit organization, his bio on the website changed in 2020. Yeah. So Jack Easterby, so he runs a nonprofit organization as part of being a part of that nonprofit and creating it, and according to tax documents, spending at least 40 hours a week running the nonprofit. He is compensated with a salary. And since he started the foundation in, I believe, 2012, he's been compensated nearly $500,000.
Cody, I'm in the wrong business, bro. I'm literally, listen, I'm not trying to 2-3 weeks ago on this show for 2 hours, myself and the deckheads, we raised $1,500 for the vets and the Lone Survivor Foundation, and donated that, and then ended up getting it doubled because AMCAP matched our contribution. We're doing a stream-a-thon on Saturday where we're raising money for Bay Area Turning Point and the Positive Black Male Association. We're already almost at $1,000. We haven't even had the show yet. You know how much I've made off of this? Zero. Who fucking profits off of charity?
Well, I mean, you compensate employees, I suppose, but
I couldn't have done this without Jen and PK, Katie and Clarence and House and Donna. There's no way I could, and Jerry Bowe, who's my partner in this, but there's no way we could have done this, Jerry and I, without those 5 people helping us. And I would love to compensate them, and I get that because they put in, but $500,000, and I guarantee you that dude ain't doing shit.
Well, I mean, his name's on there, and it says he works over 40 hours a week doing it, and he assists. And I can't make a. I know his dad works for the charity too.
I can make that. Oh, really? Oh, that's convenient. I'm gonna make Oliver my cat, an employee of my new charity foundation, which is crazy, Cody. Because I swear to God, as much as I love to do these types of events, I thought, you know what I need to do? Because like people are sending money, and we're trying to figure out how to coordinate. I was like, I just need to start a not-for-profit foundation, a charity for me and the stuff that I do, and make it all, legal as a charity so I can issue receipts for people that donate or whatever. And never was the thought, how can I draw a salary and get my dad a salary and Nora a salary and my cat?
Yeah.
It's fucking disgusting.
So we had that on Texans Daily a couple months ago about how he's changed his resume on the bio on the website, how he's made money doing that. I'll present the pieces and then you put together the conclusion yourself. Jack Easterby was initially not paid by the Kansas City Chiefs to be the team chaplain. He had a different job that paid him. He was initially not paid by the Kansas City Chiefs. Primarily, one of the major expenses of his foundation is travel. Jack Easterby never lived in Kansas City. The expenses of his foundation were travel. One of the major expenses were travel. And again, he was not paid by the Kansas City Chiefs, who are in Kansas City, not where Jack Easterby lived. So you put 2 and 2 together and speculate on what those travel funds might have gone to. That's all I'm going to say because I don't have any proof. But
bro,
you put 2 and 2 together. So and I credit. Look, my teacher in college. I mean, he was embarrassed when I started doing sports radio because he was like, "You're a really good investigative reporter. I wish you would just do that." And I was like, well, A, it's not that fun. B,
come on, bro. You don't want to be you don't want to be Cody Dolcefino?
Yeah.
Up next on Eyewitness News, I'm going to investigate. And then it's just a cut shot of them going, get the fuck out. You're like, wait a minute. Do you have a comment?
Nobody does restaurant investigating anymore. So I have to be like Slime in the Zoom machine, Start getting some.
There was a virus
surgery
on their website.
Yeah. But, so my teacher was always like, you should do the investigative reporting stuff. And then when I kind of looked up all this stuff, because tax records are public knowledge. I know how much Jack Easterby's house is worth. Like,
especially,
that's public knowledge,
especially charities and homes and stuff like that.
Charities and stuff like that. Yeah. So, I just did some looking and, just found some things that I thought were curious. Most notably his extreme level of compensation. A couple of years he made over $100,000 from this charity. And prior to being, the character coach in New England, I can't imagine he was making a whole lot of money in the National Football League.
Character coach.
Now
hold on.
with the
character coach.
Character coach.
Are you fucking kidding me? This is a free ride. I mean, this dude is a free ride machine. He has no redeeming qualities or values, it sounds like.
Well, you know,
like what the fuck? Character coach.
Jason LaCanfora at CBS says that Easterby makes over $3 million a year now with the Texans. So
Jesus Christ. Well, first of all, a character coach on a team that's been busted for cheating more in the last 2 decades than any other fucking team in football. Is it whatever he's making, he's over fucking paid for it.
Well, yeah.
Ridiculous.
I mean, they brought him in after Aaron Hernandez got charged with murder, so.
Thank God. That would have been on his record. I bet that would have showed up on his resume. Unbelievable.
One more thing about the Easterby thing, too. Brian Daboll, who I mentioned there, was the guy that recommended New England bring him in. Brian Daboll has the same representation, the same agency. I can't say for sure the same agent, but the same agency represents Brian Daboll and Jack Easterby, by the way.
Oh, really?
So if Jack Easterby has a hand in trying to pick the next head coach, I would think that he'd probably try to return the favor to Brian Daboll. And let me tell you, that's as close to Bill O'Brien 2.0 as you're going to get is Brian Daboll. The way he approaches things, his character, his mannerisms.
You do not think that this team is going to mess this up that bad, do you?
I think today was probably a real big eye opener for Cal McNair, if I had to guess. I don't know
with the publishing of the article and everything.
It was a lot of times, and I've seen this in corporate America, and I've been a part of corporate America very little. You've been in corporate America before. A lot of times,
Fortune 50.
People do not want the bad news to get to the top.
Nope.
Especially when it's about them. So I would wonder how much of the bad press on Jack Easterby Cal McNair has been insulated from by Jack Easterby. Because if I was in a spot where, I sort of had the owner's ear, I would make sure that he either thought that it was wrong or it didn't matter.
Well,
when somebody said something bad
about it.
It's a
witch hunt. It's the liberal media that hates Jesus, Cal. Everyone knows I love Jesus. I'm telling you, Cal, they're bringing it. First it was Trump, and now it's me, Cal. It's that kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, so I would think that when Sports Illustrated, a heritage brand, puts 2 of their best investigative reporters on a guy that works for you, you'd have to take notice.
You have to. Tony Garza said, Cal can't read. Is it just me, Cody? And I don't want to put your credentials or anything, but is it just me? And again, feel free to decline to answer this question. I feel like Cal McNair is a bumbling idiot. The way he has handled things, his ineptness, his radio silence, the things that he says and does, I feel like this dude is a bumbling idiot. Am I wrong?
Do you want to know something fascinating about how I view how Cal McNair runs the Houston Texans?
Sure.
He runs it a lot like most fans would run it. And fans don't want to hear that because Bob McNair never wanted to fire anybody.
No.
Bob McNair hated it when people didn't get along. He made people get along. Bob McNair made Rick Smith and Bill O'Brien get along.
Yeah. It's crazy.
When Cal McNair took over, they fired a general manager a year into his tenure. They fired a head coach after a 0-4 start when he had 3 of the 4 toughest opponents of anybody to start the season.
Oh, okay. We're going to put a pin in that. Okay.
Cal McNair makes snap decisions that fans would make all the time. I don't believe he has the circle of input that his father had. Bob McNair was very close with the Joneses, Jerry Jones and his family. Bob McNair was well respected in ownership groups, and he built that over the course of his years participating with the NFL and being in, friendships with these other owners. And Cal, inherently, anybody who takes over for their parent who passes away or steps down, they're going to have to build all that back up. But Cal, the way he runs the team, I think is a lot like how a fan would run the team. Snap judgments, spend a bunch of money on stuff that doesn't have a salary cap, which, I mean, if you're spending $3 million on Jack Easterby because you think he helps, then that doesn't affect your salary cap. You spend whatever you want on Jack Easterby and your coaches and your assistant coaches. And I mean, Cal built them a new weight room. Cal revamped the nutrition stuff, the cafeteria, all that stuff. I don't think he's a bad owner, but it's going to be very interesting to see what he ends up doing at the general manager spot, what he ends up doing at the head coach spot, and that will tell us the most. I mean, to me, if the only thing Cal McNair really truly could have done different is fire Bill O'Brien after Kansas City. Because that's what I would have done. Because then at that point, Bill O'Brien has shown you he can't get it done. So I would have hired a new coach last hiring cycle. Who do you have? I don't know. Probably Matt Rule. Matt Rule would have been a nice hire here for the Texans.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly who you'd have, but I would say maybe Matt Rule would have been the head coach. But I like that he fired Bill. I thought there was no way in hell he'd fire Bill O'Brien in the middle of the 2020 season. 4 games in the season, Bill O'Brien's gone. That's a great move.
Well, and that's why I said put a pin in it, because it's a 2-part question, which I wrote down. But one, did you agree or disagree with the firing and when it occurred? And 2, you just mentioned that you thought there would be no way in hell, because you feel like the reason Deshaun signed the contract and the extension and everything is because of Bill O'Brien. I mean, he backed the guy after that debacle. Man, there was apparently some loyalty there between Deshaun and Bill O'Brien.
Deshaun Watson signed the contract because it was the most money Deshaun Watson was ever going to make, and it was the fastest route to a lot of that money.
Fair enough.
Now, because if Deshaun Watson...
But man, if you're Deshaun Watson watching this organization, you have to have been like, this is a shit show and I don't want to be here. He would have got paid, Cody, no matter what.
Yeah, but you got to think about he's 4 years away from getting paid if he doesn't take the Texans deal. Well, kind of sort of, because he would have played his 5th-year option next year, and then he would have been franchise tagged, which is
for 2 years,
like $27-ish or so $1 million payday, and then would have franchise tagged again, which gets you up into the high 30s. And then if his leg explodes in the middle of next year on his 5th-year option, okay, well then you're not.
That was a team option, right?
Yeah, well, it's the every first round pick has the 5th-year option,
right?
And the best part for Deshaun Watson is he gets all that money. It's an extremely, quarterback friendly deal, as almost every quarterback deal is, and then he gets to cash in again before the thing's over. So I don't think he made a bad decision at all, regardless of if Bill O'Brien's here, Bill O'Brien's not here, Jack Easterby's here, Jack Easterby's not here. Whoever the next head coach is, Deshaun Watson probably will outlast them unless they're really good.
That's a good point. It's a really good point. Okay, so you mentioned the firing of Bill O'Brien 4 games in, and it was a snap decision, a snap judgment in the middle of the season. Played 3 of, it was the most difficult schedule. I will give him credit for that. It was a very difficult schedule to start the season, except for the Minnesota. Well, actually, they're looking pretty good now too.
Yeah.
Did you agree or disagree with it? Did you think that it was too soon?
Get him the hell out of there.
Thank you. Because I was like, wait a minute. I don't give a shit when they did it. I feel like that was a year too late. Never mind 4 games. That dude should have been fired a year ago.
I thought it was 8 months too late. They should have fired him when they got back from Kansas City.
Yep.
And then after that, once you saw what this 2020 team is going to be, 3 games in, 4 games in, you're like, okay, well, not much to salvage here. And the 4-0 or the 0-4 start and then firing him then, whatever little window you had to salvage the 2020 season was in that very moment. They made that decision. Ultimately, they didn't salvage the 2020 season. You're not going to be competitive for a playoff spot, but they played better football post Bill O'Brien. And again, it was all very important for Deshaun Watson to show off and be that big time asset that coaches are going to drool over, that they're going to fight over to coach over the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years.
You think that's what's happening, or is Deshaun just being Deshaun? I don't get the sense that Deshaun's the kind of guy that's going to, either, Jack Easterby or even Cal McNair's going to sit down and say, now listen, buddy, I need you to go out there and be special because we're trying to woo some people. I just feel like Deshaun's like, I'm going to do what I do. And I don't give a fuck what else happens. This is how I play. I would even say he's succeeding in spite of some of the system still.
Yes.
Some of the stuff he does, some of the play calls.
It's off script and stuff like that. So, no, I don't think there was some charge to make sure Deshaun Watson is special, but showcase any positives that this team has going forward after the 0-4 start, just to make sure that you don't want to eliminate yourself from a conversation with someone you want to have a conversation with. Because if you were just terrible and Deshaun looked bad this season, why would anybody come here? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's what I think. That's what I think. If the Eagles fired Doug Peterson, why would anybody want to go coach the Eagles? their quarterback is lost.
Yeah.
Their quarterback that they spent $1 gazillion on, that they ruined the way NFL contracts are negotiated because they're idiots, okay? That quarterback's a joke. Who would want to coach that guy? Now, these coaches are arrogant. They think they can fix anybody.
Sure.
Maybe they think they can fix Carson Wentz. Oh, well, for 13 games, he was an MVP candidate. Cool. Well, those are the only 13 games he's been worth a shit, really. Yeah. So,
he fell out. Absolutely fell out. And and not only that, the on the way out, Bill O'Brien, traded the best player on this team, not named Deshaun Watson, and then, put all his eggs in a defensive basket that was just absolutely atrocious. It's just that, it's literally Deshaun and Laramie Tunsil, which is a good cornerstone for a franchise, but there's no established coaches that want to come here, I feel like. Don't you agree? If you're the cream of the crop looking to make a move, or you've been let go for whatever reason, how can the Texans be a destination with just those two players? Am I wrong?
If your goal is to win as much as you can, as fast as you can, tell me why it couldn't be. The Texans and the Chargers are the two spots for that. Yeah. Because even with the awful season that they've had, they played Tennessee to the wire. They played Indianapolis to the wire, and they're going to be ahead of Jacksonville, and they will be ahead of Jacksonville for the next few years unless Jacksonville gets a Deshaun Watson-like quarterback in this upcoming draft.
Yeah.
So as far as win in 2021, the Texans, with all the garbage that is associated with the 2020 season, took the Colts to the limit and took the Titans to the limit. And both those teams very much needed victories over the Texans to be where they are in the playoff picture. So it would stand to reason that if you think this coach and this coaching staff that has been here were bumbling idiots, it would stand to reason if you get an average or above coaching staff, that everything's going to be a lot better. Like the players they do have, and like my big thing this week was I was watching this defense this past weekend. Anthony Weaver deserves a conversation to potentially stick around with the Texans. They pitched a shutout in the second half. The only 2 points scored were off a safety. That's not Anthony Weaver's fault. That's the offense's fault. Like, how many times does a team have a shutout and lose the football game?
Yeah,
like, that wasn't Anthony Weaver's fault. They got run through for 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, whatever it was. People just ran and did whatever they wanted. And then the Colts,
that secondary is atrocious. The
Colts, who have one of the best offensive lines in football, 4 running backs that are all better than all the Texans running backs, and they ran for 29 yards in the first half. And that's without Anthony Weaver starting inside linebacker. Bernard McKinney been hurt for 6 weeks.
Yeah,
he got some guy named Tyrell Adams as the inside linebacker. Tyrell Adams had 19 tackles in the game. Weaver's done a solid job. Now, if he had a little bit more to play with to start the year, do you maybe not give up 500 yards rushing every week? Yeah, maybe. But the coach,
especially when you consider that that linebacking core was supposed to be one of the best in the NFL. Yeah, that's what blew my mind. That's what blew my mind. It's like, how are you this bad in run defense with that linebacking core that you dumped all that money in?
If the thought is the next coaching staff is way better than the current coaching staff, then I don't see any way the Texans can't be a solid middling team. You sort of hit the reset button in 2021. You're ready to compete again in 2022.
All right, so who's your guy? I feel like Eric Bieniemy is who?
Matt Eberflus, the defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts.
So not Eric Bieniemy. That seems to be the go-to name that everybody says go get.
Here's the biggest thing with Eric Bieniemy. Nobody has any idea how much of the play calls he calls in Kansas City. When he gets hired to be a new head coach, he doesn't get to bring with him the best quarterback in football.
Well, he doesn't get to bring one of the best 3.
Right, but it ain't Patrick Mahomes.
Or 4. No, it ain't Patrick Mahomes, but the skill set is very similar. In fact, outside of Russell Wilson, there's not another quarterback with that kind of skill set besides Deshaun. Sure.
But he's not bringing an offensive line that's built left to right, right to left.
Fact.
He's not bringing the best tight end in football.
Fact.
He's not bringing one of the best wide receivers in football.
Fact.
And the biggest thing, Andy Reid ain't coming with Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah.
That's Andy Reid's offense.
But
Andy
Cody,
Reid calling the plays.
But you do have to give credit. Listen, if you spend enough time in that system, which he has, you learn how that system works. And I know that replicating systems doesn't always go well. I get it.
Hey, proximity to greatness doesn't guarantee greatness. If that was the case, Nick Saban's wife would be the second best coach in football.
So good.
You know,
it's fucking true, man.
And so Eric Bieniemy, yeah, you know what? Red flag on a dude that's had 3 job interviews to be a head coach, and they pick Scribini's ahead of him. Like Eric Bieniemy had coming off the Super Bowl, the Browns picked Kevin Stefanski. Like Eric Bieniemy coming off of a Super Bowl, Carolina picked Baylor's head coach.
I don't understand it.
Like, so there's obviously an issue there. Now, yeah, there's.
What do you think it is? Because I mean, he's the sexy name, and it makes sense because of how prolific that offense is. Now, whether that's we always say coaches get too much credit when they win and too much blame when they lose, and that may be the case for this team. But
I think I mean, you don't interview 3 times not getting any of those jobs if you're not a bad interview. So I think he's probably a bad interview.
About that. Yeah, P. Jones just said in the chat, good point. It really is. I never really considered that, but
he's probably a bad interview.
Yeah,
people probably skeptical about how much he does with Kansas City and how much of it is Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
and I think there's stuff in Eric Bieniemy's past that are really tough things that when somebody who's got it out for whatever team hires him is going to make it a big deal. And some of the stuff in Eric Bieniemy's past is going to be a bigger deal than it has to be in 2020.
Like, I don't know.
I mean, he got charged. I mean, he had an incident where he pushed a firefighter one time.
Oh.
He had an incident where he got detained after a bar fight one time. He's had a DUI. He's had multiple incidents, I think, as a speeding incident. There's an incident that got him banned from the campus of Colorado where he went to school. He got banned for a year because of an incident where he put his hand on a woman's throat.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Eric Bieniemy was, I believe, he was a coach at Colorado when Colorado had a massive cover-up of sexual assaults. Now, I'm not saying Eric Bieniemy did it, but he's going to have to answer questions about that. He's going to have to answer questions. Why'd you put your hand on a woman's throat? He's going to have to answer questions. Why'd you push a firefighter?
And especially in an NFL who is trying so hard to repair a reputation that showed non-committal and almost apathy to the plight of women and domestic violence.
Sure. And so, and look, that's all early 90s. And before, I mean, the Colorado stuff was the late 90s. So all that's 20 plus years old.
Yeah, but if you're an organization, the last thing you want is a head coach who, and I didn't even know that, but the last thing you want is a head coach that has that on his resume. Wait, you choked a woman? Well, I'm going to put my hand on her throat. No, done. Next.
Right. So I think I think probably some of those things, and look, those are all things 20 years in the past. Eric Bieniemy didn't go to jail for any of that. But that's something that
he got suspended for it, though.
You gotta explain.
Yeah.
That's something that you have to pay. And like, there's just guys you don't have to explain stuff like that. I mean,
that's true. I wasn't aware of that, man. That's crazy. You should have been an investigative reporter.
So I think with Eric Bieniemy, I think there's plenty of question marks around him, and I think it's really tough he gets some of the same knocks on him that guys who coordinated Tom Brady get on them, and that's a fair knock.
Yeah, and somebody in the chat mentioned this. I can't find who. Joe Pro. He said, agree with Cody. O'Brien had a rep because he worked with Brady and Belichick. And that's a great point. Like, that was a system thing, right? Like, well, I will say this. He did go to Penn State in a moment when Penn State nobody wanted to touch that job. No scholarship. Like, it was bad. People were leaving. He had no talent, and he resurrected that program. And that was a big notch in his belt outside of Brady and Belichick. But yeah, that was part of it. He was the quarterback whisperer because he worked with Tom Brady.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's a valid criticism of Eric Bieniemy. And like, Robert Saleh is another name from San Francisco. Robert Saleh has gotten lit up on national television twice this year. He got lit up on Monday Night Football. Josh Allen lit his ass up, and Aaron Rodgers lit his ass up on a Thursday Night Football. Robert Saleh has $90 million or something like that on the injured reserve on his defense. Like, a bunch of his dudes have been hurt. And oh, by the way, I didn't see anybody crapping on Eric Bieniemy when they scored 9 points against the Broncos in the first half on Sunday. Like, And he didn't have any excuses. Travis Kelce played. Tyreek Hill played. Patrick Mahomes played. Like Robert Saleh's sitting here without the defensive rookie of the year, without a $90 million defensive lineman in Eric Armstead, without a top 3 draft pick in Solomon Thomas. Richard Sherman's missed like 8 games, and like they're better than they were last year statistically in some areas. Like, but people want to crap with Robert Saleh because Josh Allen, who's an MVP candidate, lit his ass up, or Aaron Rodgers, who's an MVP candidate, lit his ass up. Get the hell out of here.
That first half against Denver, Bieniemy was like, yeah, well, Andy calls most of the plays.
Yeah, exactly. And then they scored 22 points total. When the week before, Taysom Hill scored 31 points. So why aren't we hiring the OC from the Saints? They scored 31 points against Denver. Like, come on. Well, we know that's Sean Payton because his OC might get love, but that's Sean Payton. That's Andy Reid. That's what I'm out on being.
Which I get. Andy Reid is grooming Eric Bieniemy for this opportunity, and I think that's great. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to deny all the things you've brought forth as evidence, man. And there's not a lot of stuff that a lot of us have considered or really even looked at. So it's eye-opening, man, because I really thought that's kind of the de facto no-brainer decision. But now, I did find it curious. You said no Dabo Swinney, and I understand the whole recruiting side of it, but are you not giving any credit to Dabo Swinney on the X's and O's side of the ball? I mean, he did take a program and make it as competitive as Bama in many regards.
Sure. The thing about Dabo Swinney is Dabo Swinney was a coordinator for half a season before he became a head coach.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. And the whole high school thing.
Nick Saban was a coordinator for 20-something, 30-something years before he was head coaching.
And failed in Miami, too.
Failed in Miami in the NFL. But, I mean, he'd been a defensive backs coach in Cleveland. He'd been a head coach at a couple of different stops, since before he got to LSU and then Miami. The thing with Dabo is Dabo hires really good coordinators. Some of the best coordinators in football have gone through Dabo Swinney. Brent Venables is one of the best defensive coordinators in football. Tony Elliott's one of the best offensive coordinators in college football. Before Tony Elliott, Chad Morris was there. Chad Morris got a head coaching job based off of his success at Clemson under Dabo Swinney. But Dabo's a college guy, and he could. Are you paying? I mean, he runs the show. So you're going to hire a general manager, and then Dabo has to report to the GM. He's got to report to the owner of the team. He's got to report to potentially Jack Easterby. No, you know who everybody at Clemson, South Carolina reports to? Dabo Swinney. Yeah. That's who they report to.
That's a good point.
And another thing with Harbaugh got in a fight with the GM in San Francisco. That's why he got fired. Or that's why he left. Excuse me. He didn't get fired, but they were going to fire him. That's why he's not going to come home and when a GM hires him, he's going to say, F you, I'm Jim Harbaugh. I hire you.
I want to, I'm going Kubiak style. I'm picking mine. And then I won't be around when he is. Hilarious.
I really would, honestly, honest to goodness, I really would prefer to hire the coach and then let the coach help in finding the GM because to me, because GMs, it's a lot easier for a GM to make an argument the coach ain't working to switch out the coach 3-4 years in than the coach to make an argument the GM ain't working, switch him out.
Yeah, but the problem becomes if you neuter the GM if he's handpicked by the head coach. Because technically on the org chart, the GM is the boss of the head coach. Now they need to work together on personnel and who they're going, and any respectable GM and head coach would do that. But once you let Bill O'Brien or Gary Kubiak pick their boss, no one gets to pick their boss.
I just think, I'm going to use the Belichick example. Belichick picks the players, and then everybody else helps him pick the players. Now, you're obviously not going to hire the next Belichick. Okay, well, who's really good? Who's really good that has the same setup as Belichick? How about Kyle Shanahan? Kyle Shanahan handpicked John Lynch, and that thing's worked out smooth as silk in San Francisco. Now, obviously, they had a bunch of guys get hurt this year, and the quarterback's kind of falling apart. But they've built up a situation where they don't have to have an elite quarterback, although once they get one, they're going to go even higher.
They're pretty damn good when Garoppolo's on the field.
Yeah. So, look, I just think it's more likely. I think there's definitely routes to success both ways.
Sure.
Because you can win with the Ravens are a perfect example. They have one of the greatest general managers of all time in Ozzie Newsome. And then John Harbaugh, who was a special teams coach before he wasn't even a coordinator, he was a special teams coach before he ends up as the head coach there. So both routes work. I don't have a true preference really. again, I think new is going to improve the Houston Texans. When you get something new in there, a new GM who actually knows how to do GM stuff, a new coach who actually knows how to
coach
have,
stuff.
Good practices and coach stuff, I think new is going to be good for the Houston Texans.
I agree with you 100%. Is there an option for GM you'd like to see? We talked a little bit about who you do and don't want to see as head coach. Is there any GM options that you're chomping at the bit to maybe see join this organization, or that would be a great fit?
I'll just really put names out there. It's tough to know exactly what these guys are responsible for in their various areas, but Mike Borgonzi, who's in the Kansas City organization, he's in that tree, of Brett Veach, who's the GM there in Kansas City. So Borgonzi's worked under him, worked under John Dorsey, who used to be in Kansas City. So Borgonzi, and plus the name is great, Borgonzi. Yeah. So I think, I like him. Guy named Joe Shane. It's spelled Sheen, but it's Joe Shane is how you pronounce it. I think it's Schein, but it's pronounced Shane. He's in Buffalo. He's the assistant general manager, I believe, in Buffalo. Buffalo's GM just got an extension today, so it's not like Joe Shane's getting the upgrade there in Buffalo anytime soon. So that's a name I'd look for. And then John Spytek, which is a great last name. He's in Tampa. Spytek has been, I think, the director of player personnel in Tampa. They oftentimes nail it in free agency, which is really hard to do. I mean, Jason Pierre-Paul is probably one of their best examples of a hit in free agency. They've drafted really well past couple of years, studs at linebackers, studs at corners, and it's not like they drafted like top 5 and got a good corner. Like they're taking guys that they get like the middle rounds and turn them into good secondary players. Mm-hmm. And so you're going to need a guy that can hit, that's a grinder that can hit on some of these late picks, because for the first year you don't have a first or a second round pick. So Spytek, Joe Shane in Buffalo, and then Mike Borgonzi in Kansas City. That's my top 3, but it's really tough to it's not like head coaching,
right,
where you can point and say, okay, well, this coordinator ran this offense, or this defensive coordinator did this. We don't really know what these guys do
behind the scenes. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't really know. Like they may just put a dossier on the GM's, table, and then the GM never opens it and picks good players. Like we don't know,
right.
But what they've been associated with, what their peers talk about, and who sticks up for them. Another name that I'd throw out there, and I wish they would have, if this was a guy that's a consideration, I wish they'd have just done it, is Louis Riddick, who's on Monday Night Football. Louis Riddick has been talked about as a potential front office guy for a long time. He's from that Kansas City setup, and he knows a lot of those guys. And you could hire him right away. You don't have to wait.
Yeah.
Like you could put him in there, and he could start assessing the organization right now. And by the way, a team that has had a lot of public ugliness associated with them, ain't nobody going to be critical of you hiring Louis Riddick, who's got a bunch of friends in the media.
No, it's a great point. And speaking of that, you see Mike Mayock getting the job in Las Vegas with the Raiders, mm-hmm. and pairing up. A name that was thrown out before by a guest on the show, I'm trying to remember who it was. Lance Zierlein is a guy who has been, I've seen people saying that, but that's the kind of mind you need, because Lance knows his shit. I'm not saying Lance could be a GM. I mean, I shouldn't say that. He could be a GM, but he just doesn't have the credentials. You know what I mean? But neither does Louis Riddick. Neither did John Lynch. Neither did Mike Mayock.
Hire Daniel Jeremiah from the NFL Network, and then let Lance be on his staff. There we go.
Yeah. I mean, these are guys that know their shit, and that's what you need, because a lot of times you felt like in this organization, these people haven't known what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, Jack Easterby stabbed the general manager in the back and then became part of the guys that helped pick the players. Jack Easterby stabbed the cap guy in the back and then helped negotiate the contracts. And that's how you get Randall Cobb making $1 gazillion a year when he has no reason making that. So again, a level of competence that hasn't been seen the past few years in Houston is going to be an incredible improvement. And we're going to look around as people that follow this team and say, oh, this is what an actual NFL team operates like.
But do you know what scares me, Cody, is that I read that Cal McNair went out and got the same firm that did the coaching search that brought them Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
What?
The search firm.
I don't know that I would trust that search firm. Again, it's even the same rep from the firm.
Yeah, search firms are weird to me because I don't know how effective they are. A lot of times it is, they're a toy to display. hey, I hired these guys. Because Cal McNair knew there were going to be people looking for new head coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he beat the Falcons to the punch, and then he secured exclusive rights to that search firm's top guy. That guy's also led 2 general manager candidacies that ended up with John Dorsey as the GM both times. Now, that worked out great for Kansas City. They got Patrick Mahomes and a lot of good players out of that, but somebody else had to come in there and take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Same thing with Cleveland. They got Myles Garrett out of it, but somebody else had to come in there and sort of take it to the next level. After Dorsey was there, I mean, Dorsey also hired for Freddie Kitchens. That wasn't good. So I think the search firm is not as important and not as powerful as we believe it to be. I would say that whoever the GM is going to have a heavy say in who's going to end up being the head coach of this organization.
It could also act as an excuse, right? A buffer of, you know what? I put my trust in these people and they let me down.
I don't want to totally crap on search firms either, because like they have resources at their hand that you can do background checks. You can find out if guys have, if their kids have any serious medical issues, that can be a big positive because Houston's a big medical hub.
Right.
Or, hey, the so-and-so in their family has a condition where, humid climates are averse to them. Like, okay, well, maybe they don't want to come to Houston because it's so humid all the time and this family member can't. But there's all sorts of extra stuff that search firms do, but not anything that you couldn't find out because you're a millionaire or billionaire and you could have found out on your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have, they just have, they got a more advanced Google, basically,
Is this team worth watching the rest of the year? I mean, I know football fans are going to watch, but I'm saying if you had the opportunity, you had to watch, you could watch anything you wanted to watch. Is the Texans appointment football the rest of the year?
Deshaun Watson is one of the most fun things to watch in football. 2 of his top 3 receivers are down on Sunday. He's got something called Chad Hansen catching the ball. I made that point.
I was like, bro, at one point when Chad Hansen caught a ball, and I didn't even remember his name, I was like, I don't even know the guy's name. I just remember watching it, and the play-by-play guy goes, oh, there's a catch by the receiver. They didn't even know his fucking name. He probably wasn't even on the list.
He was he's a practice squad promotion. He hadn't played in the NFL since 2017 when the Jets drafted him in the 4th round, and they got rid of him 1 year in because he sucked. And he shows up, and Deshaun Watson throws him the ball, and he
makes
gets
him look
yards.
like a fucking stud.
Kiki Cutie has 129 yards or whatever after Bill O'Brien wouldn't play this guy.
Good point. And I'm glad you brought that up. Who was wrong here? Was O'Brien right that Kiki QT isn't that good? He's just Deshaun Watson making him look good? Or is he really better and just got in B.O.B.'s doghouse and couldn't get out?
Kiki QT's a baller.
Is he?
And Bill O'Brien's wrong.
Nice.
Kiki QT's a baller and Bill O'Brien was wrong. Kiki QT comes in his first game. He plays. He gets like 12 catches against the Colts. And then the playoffs later that year, he's like 11 catches against the Colts.
Yeah.
Like, the guy can ball. He got in a Bill O'Brien doghouse for whatever reason. I think there's a little bit of a culture clash there because Bill O'Brien seems to really latch on to the Midwestern sensibilities. He really likes Nick Martin. He really likes Whitney Merciless, evidenced by the fact that he gave them millions and millions of dollars that they didn't really deserve. He doesn't get along very well with sort of the more southern swag, Lufkin, Texas, South Carolina, where DeAndre Hopkins is from, So I think that there's a culture disconnect. And look, there's a lot of talented wide receivers come out of Lufkin, Texas. Des Bryant was from Lufkin, Texas.
Yeah.
There's a certain swagger that maybe rubs coaches the wrong way. It doesn't help Kiki QT that Bill O'Brien's best friend was the damn wide receivers coach who never really coached in the NFL. So I'm sure that didn't help Kiki QT any. And now you got Bill O'Brien out of there. You get him on the field. Oh, the guy that was an absolute baller at Texas Tech is also a baller in the NFL too. Wow.
Go figure. Shocking. Wow. Where's Bill O'Brien going to end up before I let you go? Where will we see him pop up again?
I hope he ends. Vanderbilt was the biggest whisper recently that he might go to Vanderbilt and try to be the head coach. I hope he goes to the SEC. They would drag him up and down the street in the ACC. They would he'd get his ass kicked at the SEC.
Yeah.
I think he'll be a head coach at. Actually, here's a fascinating one. We'll know everything that the NFL truly thinks about Bill O'Brien if one thing happens. If Josh McDaniels leaves and goes to be a head coach somewhere, and there's not even a whisper that Bill O'Brien could come back and be the OC in New England, then we know he's shot. Because if Belichick won't sign off on you, that's the same thing that's going to happen with Matt Patricia. If Matt Patricia doesn't end up in New England again, if Belichick won't sign off on you being a rehab project, you ain't worth hiring again. Wow. So I think the less power Bill O'Brien has, the better. So if he ends up as an offensive coordinator somewhere, somebody have a nice middling offense somewhere, he ends up at a head coach at like a Big Ten school, I think he could have a middling level of success there. If James Franklin left Penn State, maybe they'd think about hiring Bill O'Brien again. He doesn't really fit college as much as he might think he fits college.
Ooh, I think from a personality perspective, it's exactly what he needs.
Sure, but I think he
needs to be the highest paid guy in the room that everybody has to respect.
He'd recruit the worst class in college football every year if he was in the SEC.
He absolutely would.
They would recruit against. It'd be so easy to recruit against him. He'd never recruit another wide receiver ever again. This guy thought DeAndre Hopkins sucked. Why would you go play for him? You know.
Cody, this is great. I can't believe an hour is already up, homie. Man, congratulations on the gig with SI. I wish you nothing but success, and let's not wait 4 months to do this again. This was really good.
Yeah, 4 months from now, we have to talk about James Harden pouting and being a crybaby bitch.
Yeah, no shit. Guys, that's Cody Stoots. Cody, how can the people follow you and read your work?
At Cody_Stoots on Twitter. I tweet out everything I write, and TexansDaily.com is where you can find all the good stuff.
There it is, you guys. That is Cody Stoots joining me on the show. Much appreciated as always. And that wraps up another episode of Barry on Deck. That was fascinating. You guys got all the dirt. You got all of the info. I loved it. And if you're a Texans fan, whether you like them or hate them right now, that was good shit. I need to chop that up. Hey, do me a favor, like Aaron J. Bryan said, hit that thumbs up on the way out. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. Thank you once again to my buddy, my pal, and my guest for the day, Cody Stoots, for bringing the knowledge. Yes, Chris Reyes, it's time to go hit the Discord, bitches, and get it in. If you're not on the Discord, go join the Patreon. What are you waiting for? Tomorrow's Friday. We drink, we talk shit, we talk lawns and everything else. Enjoy your night. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you guys for being here. Until then, be safe, be kind, and most importantly, love each other. I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, don't forget, I'm streaming tonight. Twitch.tv, Barry is funny. We're going to have fun. See you tomorrow. Daddy's making a YouTube video.